All right, take a look at this headline from the New York Times today. The rise of the far-right Latina. Don't you just love this newspaper? It makes a great place for your dog to take a crap. The left doing what it does best, labeling anyone with a disdain for Marxism as a far-right maniac. And they won't stop. According to The Hill, if Republicans can consistently draw just over 30% of the Hispanic vote, they would likely dominate American politics in both presidential and congressional races. Democrats and their lapdog media are freaking out over the Hispanic vote and what's happening in this country, and it's already starting to happen. You heard the story about Mayra Flores, the first Republican to represent the Rio Grande Valley in more than a century after she flipped that very tough congressional seat from blue to red, becoming the first Latina Republican ever sent to Congress in Texas. Two other Latina Republicans on the ballot in congressional races along the Mexican border as well. Monica de la Cruz in McAllen and Cassy Garcia in Laredo, and they join me tonight to talk about that. We go right from the picture to them live. Good to see you, ladies. Thank you so much for coming on. Cassy, I want to start with you. Your reaction to the New York Times article. You were actually mentioned by name in it as one of these far-right Latinas.
Well, thank you for having me on this evening, but that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I'm just an average American. I love my church, I love my family, I love my country, and that's what Democrats are calling right-wing extreme. You're seeing Democrats, and especially Hispanic Democrats, running away as fast as they can from the Democrat Party. You know, when the radical left smears me for my faith in supporting school choice, they're not just attacking me, they're attacking millions of Hispanic families and my community, and I will never stop fighting for our values.
You know, Monica, it's funny that they label this as almost like there's something wrong. If you're Latina or Latino and you're not left to center, there's obviously something wrong with you, which is interesting to me because you guys, from the countries you come from, if you've been paying attention for the last several decades, you've watched what left-wing politics has done to your home nations in a lot of cases. It's crazy that they think there's something wrong with you if you're right-wing or if you're Republican in this country.
Look, this just shows how out of touch Democrats are with Hispanics. They continuously show that they don't care about Hispanics. They don't care about what's important to us. And for the first time in a long time, we have three strong Republican women who are willing to stand up for our faith, for our family, and for our country. And so the Democrat Party and their left-wing media are going to do everything they can to keep us down. But the fact of the matter is that our voices are being heard and people are going to the polls and voting for us because they stand by what we stand for, our values, and our Hispanic values align with the Republican Party, period.
Cassy, we've known Democrats think that they effectively own the African-American vote. You remember Biden, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. They think they own that populace in this country. Do you think that they assumed that of the Hispanic vote as well?
They do. The Democrat Party has walked away from the Hispanic community, and they feel entitled to our vote. And just like Monica said right now, we are running for Congress for defending faith, family, and freedom. And the Democrats, we're going to see more Democrats walk away and vote Republican come this November because of what we're seeing on the border. The Biden border crisis is out of control, inflation, and we have an energy crisis right now. So we are going to see a red tsunami come this November. We're going to see more Hispanics, more Democrats come out and vote Republican come this November.
Monica, real quick, because I'm almost out of time. Why is the southern border wide open under this administration, and do you think they're going to regret that at some point?
Look, the border is open simply because the Biden policies are not working. They've taken away successful Trump-era policies that kept our communities safe and our country safe. And the Biden administration has given a green light to the cartels, to the Mexican cartels, to take control of this border. They put our American communities at risk, and they put immigrants at risk as well.
Nobody's doing better than the drug cartels under Joe Biden. I mean, every cartel member living in this country can't wait to vote for the Joe Biden reelection and Democrats in November. They cannot wait. Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.